There's something your guardian angels want you to hear right now, something they've been patiently waiting to say. You often feel like your story will never be written, but it is through adversity that your true character takes shape. The angels say, it's easy to feel overlooked when your struggles are silent. When you're holding everything together behind the scenes, it can seem like your effort is invisible, like the chapters of your story are being written in ink no one else can see. But what if that silence is where your strength is most alive? What if the parts of you that endure quietly are the ones shaping something powerful beneath the surface? Have you ever stopped to think about how far you've come, not just in miles or milestones, but in moments where no one saw you try, yet you kept going anyway? That's not nothing. That's not small. That's exactly what builds the kind of presence others don't forget, even if it takes them a while to understand why. Your guardian angels have seen it all. They've seen the moments you stood tall in the dark, when no applause followed, and still you stood. Someone you once barely connected with is beginning to see that. When your friend introduced you to someone from their own circle, you didn't expect much. You were kind, open, and present, but they didn't seem interested. They were polite, sure, but distant, closed off. You could sense their wall, even if they didn't say much. Still, you stayed true to yourself. You offered a few words, something small but meaningful, drawn from your own experience. Not advice, just something real. That moment may have seemed brief to you, like a passing moment in a conversation you didn't expect to go anywhere. But it took quiet bravery to say what you did. You didn't dress your words up with big promises or try to sound impressive. You just spoke from the truth, and that kind of honesty. It's rare, especially when it comes from someone who has lived through things and learned not to shout, but to share with intention. You didn't know if your words would be received. You didn't know if they'd even care. But you spoke anyway. That's the mark of someone with emotional depth, someone who knows that wisdom isn't about convincing others, but about planting seeds and letting them grow. Do you realize how strong that makes you? Most people only speak when they know they'll be heard, but you spoke because it mattered, not because it would be acknowledged. They didn't react. In fact, they probably disregarded your words entirely. In their mind, they already knew the answers. You didn't argue. You moved on. But here's what you didn't realize. Your words stuck. They didn't show it. Not on their face, not in their tone. But something about the way you spoke stayed with them. Days passed. Maybe even weeks, but in quiet moments while they sat alone, or when something didn't go their way, your words returned. Isn't it something how the heart can store things it wasn't ready for at the time? How your presence, brief as it was, began to whisper to them, even louder than the voices they once trusted. You may not know it, but you became a mirror. Not the kind that reflects flaws, but one that reveals the truth someone's been too afraid to face. That's what you did for them, without pressure, without force, just by being exactly who you are. And very few people have the gift of doing that with presence alone. You should know, not everyone can move another person without even trying. Not right away. Not in a life-changing moment, but over time, slowly, quietly. I repeat, you often feel like your story will never be written, but it is through adversity that your true character takes shape. Life wasn't going their way. The plans they were so sure of kept falling apart. And each time something you said echoed in their mind. At first, they resisted it. They thought it was just a coincidence, nothing more. But things kept unraveling, and your words kept showing up in the back of their thoughts. Eventually, they had to stop and really think. And when they did, something changed. They didn't tell you, not yet, but they started to open up more with others and with themselves. The idea that someone they barely knew once saw through the noise that began to mean something. What once felt like a forgettable moment is now a turning point in their life. They're growing, healing, becoming more honest with themselves. And you were the spark. You gave them a push they didn't even know they needed. Now they want to reach out, to reconnect, to thank you. They aren't sure how. They're still wrestling with pride, with uncertainty, with how they first treated you. Imagine how it must feel for them now, realizing that the person they brushed off may have been the one voice they truly needed to hear. That kind of regret lingers, doesn't it? Not because you did anything wrong, but because your sincerity revealed something they weren't ready to accept in themselves. And now, they're left wondering how to step back into your life without looking foolish, without having to explain why they were blind to your value in the first place. But here's where you've done something remarkable. You never made them feel small. You never demanded understanding or closure or anything at all. You simply gave them space. That takes strength, quiet strength, the kind that doesn't need recognition but deserves it all the same. How many people could have reacted with ego, with bitterness, with "I told you so"? And yet you didn't. That's the kind of grace that leaves a mark. But their heart is shifting, and your guardian angels want you to know that it's only a matter of time before they come back around. They think about you more than you realize. They feel drawn to your energy. They feel better when they imagine hearing your voice again. It's possible that something deeper is growing beneath the surface. To them, you represent something rare, someone real, someone who speaks from experience, not ego, someone who shows up, even when it seems like no one's listening. You never tried to change them. You just planted a seed, and now that seed is blooming. Your story is being written, one quiet moment at a time. Your story is being remembered, not in headlines, but in hearts. In the way someone recalls how you made them feel seen, even for a moment. That's the legacy you're building. You are not invisible. You are unforgettable. And maybe today is the day you stop waiting to feel like the main character and realize you've been one all along. And the part you thought no one would remember. That's the part that changed someone's life. This concludes the message from your guardian angels. I want to end with a prayer for you. Lord, strengthen them in the moments when their efforts feel unseen, and remind them that their quiet courage is shaping lives in ways they may never fully grasp. Let the seeds they've planted in others bloom into healing, honesty, and growth. Fill them with peace, knowing that their presence carries a rare and lasting impact. May they always walk in the quiet power of grace. Amen. Your guardian angels see it, they're guiding it, and they're reminding you your presence matters more than you know. Type 900 to claim this message and the blessings inside for your own. Try and leave a positive comment for other viewers who might need a positivity boost in their day. The universe sees it as an act of kindness that fuels the cycle of good karma. You'll be spreading positivity and receiving the universe's blessings in return. Let's uplift each other and create waves of good energy together. I also want to pass on one more time-sensitive message from the angels to you, and you need to hear it today because this is extremely unusual. Someone or something seems to be trying to block you from receiving this urgent guidance. You've been missing countless signals that the universe is sending you. Luckily, those messages are still available to you. Please click the link in the description to find the messages that you missed. An important message is waiting for you in the next video. Will you hear it?